The Caribbean region is one of the most vulnerable areas to the impacts of climate change. The Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, 5Cs, is the only CARICOM institution specifically designed to tackle these effects. Despite its crucial role, 5Cs was the first non-subvention entity in the community, meaning it doesn't receive funding from CARICOM. This makes the collaboration between the 5Cs and the Caribbean Development Fund, CDF, essential in the fight against climate change. Together, they are working to protect our region and build a more sustainable future.
The 5Cs as an institution, the successes we've had really is because of our ability to forge these strategic partnerships with member states and governments, with international partners and governments, and regional institutions. And you see CDF here. Again, these are all mandated institutions of CARICOM. They have different roles, they have different responsibilities, and the 5Cs is here from a climate change space to help them to execute their mandate, but to incorporate the climate change.
This week, the 5Cs, the Caribbean Development Fund, and Belize's Ministry of Economic Development teamed up to sign a memorandum of agreement. This partnership aims to boost the Credit Risk Abatement Facility project, which is all about strengthening and securing small and medium-sized businesses in the renewable energy and climate sectors. Rodinal Sumer, the CEO of the Caribbean Development Fund, shared some fascinating insights into how this agreement came to be.
CDF has had this MOU with 5Cs for quite a while now. There was a very short intervention that we did together, which actually resulted in us being able to present a very rigorous proposal to the board of directors for the co-financing of the project in Barbados. And that, to us, for us, was a good example of what we could have achieved together, working as regional institutions. And of course, you were aware of our launch of the CRAF and the promise that it held for assisting with the energy transition in the region, particularly in the private sector. And so you obviously saw the importance of supporting us in trying to roll out this facility throughout the region, which is what our signing today will allow us to do.
The CRAFT project is all about cutting down on our dependence on fossil fuels, slashing greenhouse gas emissions, and boosting the country's climate resilience. The Caribbean Development Fund, CDF, is on a mission to tackle social and economic inequalities and foster unity and growth across CARICOM, especially in the sectors that need it the most.
And what this means in a practical sense is that we have to treat with development challenges in the region that are multidimensional and cross-cutting, linked to the smallness of our economies, the openness and the low levels of diversification. And we have to do this with severe resource constraints. And these resources have to be assigned to dealing with competing development priorities, and in particular, climate change related in the food, water, and energy sectors.
Sumer and Young highlight that this collaboration is a shining example for other regional organizations. It shows how partnerships can effectively bring people together and build stronger social and economic bonds.
We have over 100 million of projects in Barbados that we are managing from the Green Climate Fund, all in the water sector. And I'm very pleased to say that CDF had a role to play in this project, because the 5Cs would have worked with the CDF to essentially broker an agreement between the government of Barbados and CDF to provide 12 million in loan that serve as a co-finance for this project to do 9 kilometers of pipeline. We've already worked together to mobilize climate finance for our countries. And currently our portfolio is actually $160 million is what we are currently managing on behalf of our member states in 12 countries.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.